right, we have another live stream. Please share, subscribe, hit that like button for me, and let's get into it. The fall of white America is coming. See, it been thou far we seen that God been pledging America day and night. So now, brothers and sisters, we are tired of America's game plan. Because today, she would just have to do justice by us or just let us go. I said, America is in trouble. And I said, God is about to wipe this nation from the face of this earth. Now listen. You see, I'm not crazy and I'm not drunk. But how long do you think that America that can do evil and not face the judgment and wrath of God? You see, they asked me this morning about the president morality. Well, how you feel about the president that's moral? Well, I said, what kind of president that we ever had today that was moral? I said the founding fathers of this nation were slaveholders. You see, they rape black women and gave them babies, but never of their own children. See, you know, brothers and sisters, when they framed the Constitution, you see, there was never thinking of sex as a high crime and misdemeanor. You see, the president disgraced the Oval Office of what he did with Monica Lewinsky. I said there was murder in this overall office. We seen the killing of kings and rulers. You see, their nation and their governments was heads and outlaws and masters of assassinators. So when has this overall office ever been a moral place? So if my words frighten you, then wait till I finish. You see, many of us today, we play with God. You see, we want God to be all loving. And yes, he loves us all right. But he kills people out from that very same love. And see, you can put Hitler, Genghis Khan, Tablet Khan, Tamerlane, and even Vladimir Putin. So you can put them in the same vote. But notice, they never killed as many people as God. But God kills and destroys people out of his love for righteousness And he hates us when we refuse to bow down to his submission before it's too late. Now, how many of you have some good parents? You had a good mother or a good father warn someone in the community and says, hey now, look, you're doing wrong. Please change from your behavior. And then all of a sudden, you get a notice in the mail that they was dead. See, at least you can say, I tried all that I can. And the reason why the brother sing you that very sad song, because he done all that he can to warn you that death has now entered into America. Oh, my brothers and sisters, get a grip. See, what do you think these storms is? See, what do you think this rain is? See, what do you think the unusual rain, the unusual snow, the violent winds, the pestilence? You see, famine is here. And more famine is on its way. And see, Mickey D's won't even give you a burger. And the Bible says you look at your own fat children's very strange. You see, America, she's in a grip of a divine judgment. Now, let's get started here. We have evil spreading far and wide. Never since the creation of Adam and Eve have we seen such times as we are witnessing today, with the worst is yet to come. There is no peace amongst the nations of the earth. The only few people who enjoy peace of mind and contentment in this day and time are the elect of God, though they are persecuted from city to city, falsely accused and denied the credit due them because of their righteousness and their malice of the wicked who have ruled the world. By no means can the righteous be represented for their righteous sake by the evildoers of the world. God is despised and rejected, and evil is accepted, and honor and justice stands afar off, and equity cannot come in, said the prophet Isaiah in the Bible. Holy Quran warns us to fear a day when evil is spread far and wide, and the days of God's presence at the end of the satanic world, to bring it to nothing. Allah God caused the evil world to be upset, since they have been enemies of peace, and the haters and destroyers of the righteous, who had brought them peace if they had accepted those worthy of the prophets. But they reject all Jesus charged them with, being the murderers and the righteous, from Abel to Zechariah. We can very well add more and say from Abel to Muhammad. Today, America professes to be the most Christianized countries on our planet. But actually, she is not. For Christian means to be Christianized and to one spiritually. That one refers to the Christ. Christ means the one who is coming at the end of the world of the wicked as a crusher. The name actually means one who is anointed to crush the wicked. The real satanic people are the right race who have discussed themselves to deceive the black world to follow them. It just used the name Christian, which means to be Christ-like. They have set up a head for their religion in Rome, Italy, with the Pope or Father who represent himself as being the intercessors, meaning one who is second only to Christ and God to intercede for the people's sins and recognition of God. But he has no divine backing. This false should be destroyed by the Christ, the crusher of the wicked, the great of Islam, Allah God in person. These are the days of God, of Christ's presidency, to destroy this evil world with all the deceptions. The people should again labor under a wicked ruler, the devil. The presidency of Allah has upset the devil, who had exercised control over the world under falsehood and have made evil to appear fair seemingly. The so-called Christian world have never before displayed such madness as they do today. Since they cannot hide their real wickedness and deceitful ways, they are angry according to the preaching and teaching of this Christianity. They prophesied that they alone will be the happy group that will welcome the coming of the Messiah, the Christ. But the Bible condemned them, that they was angry and sought to hide their face from him, God. As Isaiah chapter 2:19 says, the people will flee from the caves to the ground from the fearful presence of the Lord and the splendor of his majesty when he rise to shake the earth. Now it should be clear to you today that Christian America does not want such preaching as entire submission to the will of Allah's Islam. The Christian hates the very name of God, such as Muhammad, which are attribute of God. The Jesus prophesied that they will hate you for his God's namesake, for having one of his name, because the name of God are to live forever. No, the name of God are to live forever. No other people on earth have the names of God but the Muslims. So the coming of just one make manifest to you this evil race of sinners, and they will be against this God's presence, be angry because of him, who will seek to destroy him and his messengers, as it is prophesied in 2 Psalms. Every nation have a turn. And every nation have a turn. So when a turn comes, they cannot remain behind at least while, nor can they decide. Holy Quran, Surah 7:34. There was a term for the people in Noah, Lot, and Moses. This also holds truth in the life and death of individuals. All is under control of Almighty Allah, especially when a divine beginning and ending had been appointed for the accomplishments of certain work that must be done by the life, a life for people. The above chapter and verse of the Holy Quran is a warning to the present nation whose term is now coming to an end. If we know what is said to us and what is written by the prophet for us to read, study, and ponder over, and if we understand, we should not fall victims to misunderstanding and disbelief. The trouble with the black man in America is that he is heedless of the truth. But he is wearied by the slave, foster parents, who is his enemy, the right race. They cause him to become heedless It was the intention of the enemy to make the black man enemy to the truth as himself was and is. This the enemy was successful in doing. For the black man in America is referred to as being blind, deaf, and dumb, in many instances as dead. This is the work of the enemy. Therefore, it took one who is our friend and not our enemy to do good to us and restore us to life mentally. Children of the fathers, slave masters who took our life mentally are working just as faithfully as their fathers did. However, since the 100 years have elapsed from the time of the slave fathers, the children are wiser and educated more in method to keep the black man in America blind, deaf, and dumb. In the days of servitude slavery of our grandparents, the white slave masters did not even give them good food. Today, you can buy good food if you have the money. However, much of it is poisoned by chemical use. The white slave master will offer a piece of fried chicken and a biscuit with a little butter on it to a so-called as an inducement for him to teach or preach what the slave master wanted him to all of the other slaves on Sunday morning. The slave did not have the theology of the scriptures, and he made his brother spiritually blind, deaf, and dumb. We see the same goes for the preachers of today. As you can see, they preach for reward for both whites and blacks. You see, I had tried them for many years. They are as their fathers were. They desire the position of the white man. They want him to give them better positions, and they will offer to cut off their heads or their black brothers if it would please their masters. See, although I live in neighborhoods, I can live in a neighborhood today, just as I can prove that I can live in a neighborhood just as cleanly and noisily as they do. See, today, white people do not like you to come to their neighborhoods. You see, jumping on them and licking them in the mouth like a puppy. They do not want their friends to think that they are taking you for an equal. He will talk to you as a friend when he is not in the presence of members of his society. They do not like you coming into their blocks, beating your wife or girlfriends, and drinking in front of the house. No decent, intelligent person like this, where he is white as snow or black as the ace of spade. You can go to the jungles and you will not want this. See, late at night, he and a gang of monks will come out and beat you up. The American so-called nigger have been made out of himself in kind by white Americans. He must now be reforming. In fact, God has promised him a new body. The Bible and Holy Quran teach us that we will be a new people altogether. He will destroy and act ignorant and foolish. He is not aware of his ignorant actions because he had become a part of ignorancy. Now the end of the term which was set for the white man have come. See, the average so-called the lost found members of the black nation does not know that this is the end of the world of the white man, his rule over the black nation. He will not listen to one of his own kind who tells or teach him at the time and doom of the world that we have known, white man's world. They offer high positions and money to the so-called intellectual politicians who will work against the good of the black American people. They were set such, for they have been deprived of love for self and kind. What do they care about the millions who are in the mud of civilization? They are content as long as they eat the butter biscuit and a fried chicken, as they slave fathers did. You will not think that they will hire themselves out to be stool pigeons, white man bootlickers, and Uncle Toms in these modern times of advanced education. But they are doing just that. They do not want the praise from God and their own black people. See, they want it from their slave master children. The slave master children will give it to them as long as they reject themselves in kind and worship the white people. The white man is very clever in making a puppet fool of the black man. They show the brown, yellow, and red man what a good job they have done on the black man in America and throughout the earth, doing what nature bid him to do. I do not blame the white man anymore for making fools of our people. It is the nature of the white man to make a fool of our people. But it's not the nature of our people to allow him to make a fool of us. But when you have been given the knowledge of yourself, the nature which God created you, you still allow the enemy to make a fool of you. Then you do not have the sympathy of God and the righteous. Not after knowledge. The divine term that was given to the right race to allow them to make a fool of the black man and rule him with tricks is now up. The devil with his tricks must be removed. He was given this chance to deceive you with his trickology. Therefore, God will not hinder it. The devil will trick you if he can. This is written in the Holy Quran, chapter 7. But God promised hellfire to both the devil and his followers, whom we can get from the black nation. Therefore, you and I, after knowledge of the devil, his tricks, his terms, should not blame anyone but ourselves if we allow the devil to trick us, for that is the job of the devil. It is his nature. We blame ourselves and not the enemy. You lust for his half-nude women and thirst for whiskey and beer. We desire gambling, robbery, and killing each other for the personal properties of others. This is the work of the devil upon you. You do not have to allow him to cause you to live such a life. Do not blame them. Blame your foolish self. It have always been a policy of the white man to use a black man against a black man, especially leaders. Look at history. See how he had deceived it and killed off the black leaders of foraging lands. And then they took over themselves. This should be a lesson for you and me. We the Muslim have watched our people who have come amongst us as eyes and ears and stool pigeons for white folks. When they have become converted to the truth and join us, they confess that they are ashamed, that they have worked against us for the sake of a few perishable dollars. We know that the white man's our enemy. Whoever we are, he offers some silly so-called nigger a high office and higher pay to work against us Muslims, the righteous, or any so-called nigger. Whether he be a Baptist, Methodist, holy roller, or sanctified. Some lazy so-called nigger will work against him for the white man. It is a shame in such modern time to see black politicians and preachers accepting positions to work against their own black people for a few dollars. When race whose time have come to an end. We are justified in taking it if the white man give us $1 billion or $100 billion. We deserve it. But we are not justified to sell our life for such a gift in this day and time. See, declare yourself a Muslim and see how much the devil will give you. He would say, we will give it to you if you preach that we are not devils. And we will answer that it's just the same as saying, if you do not teach the truth for me, so that I can continue to deceive the world of your kind, I will help you. Now you got to remember what the Bible teaches us. That Satan said to Jesus, all these things I will give you if you will fall down and worship me. Matthew 4:9. And he showed him the kingdoms of the world. You see, perhaps you will be off of the world of the wicked pretty soon. If so, the Bible says, what profit a man if he gains the world and lose his own life soul? This warning to the preachers. The little money with its dying value will not help you against God's aim and purpose of the resurrection of the dead, lost found members of the nation. See, you will lose your life. For so, in doing, you should, for you cause innocent ones who are blind, deaf, and dumb to go to hell with yourself, an enemy. Allah God came forth in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, the Son of Man, as it is written, seeking to save that which was lost, and to restore it again, that which has gone astray. See, it was this woman with the newborn in Revelation 12:4. And the newborn was to make his presence felt to be amongst God's people. See, when you practice and reading the resurrections, is that we, as a black people, black man and woman, have been mentally dead. And so now it teaches us that we should rise through the occasion. See, realize who you are. Understand who this devil is, and name the beast that he was, like Joseph that was in slavery. Once you were a slave. Now, he says to me that he will eat the rattlesnake to save our lives, and that he will walk 40 miles up a mountain to teach this one in order to save his life, in exchange for our safety, return to our own. I have taken him for my God and my Savior. I advise you to do the same. You see, regardless of the offer of money, which is fast becoming worthless. Jesus refused the money and draw upon the truth that is written, that we must not worship Satan. See, Satan places behind us and not in front of us. It is the nature of Satan to try and deceive the very angels in heaven, not to think of the fools who are in his hell. In the Bible Revelation, it is written that you accept the enemy and go down in a lake of fire with him. Read the fallen passages of your Bible, which dwell on the time of yourselves. America, the American white people are more concerned today about mistreating the black one slave of America than America is concerned with any nation on earth that is attacking her outlying posts. Her enemies are intensifying the attack on her. America right out of the frying pans into the fire all over the earth due to her evil intentions against her loyal black once slaves. Her talk of evil doing against the black one slave in America is worse than it is against independent nations that they are trying to attack and destroy her countries. White America has more hatred for the black one slave and her millions who are faithfully fighting on the frying line to help her against her enemies than she is against the enemies that they are shooting down. See, white America talks of building concentration camps, prison house for the black one slave, the black man in America. I'm told that America already have concentration camps built for this purpose. Concentration camps are jailhouses, prison houses. See, this is why I cry day and night to my black brothers and sisters to seek refuge in Allah God in such a time as this: the Muslim do not have to worry about any such imprisonment. A Muslim is already a citizen of the Nation of Islam, and we have our own people, Muslim, to deliver us by the order of God. This is why it's so necessary that the black man in America accept Allah God and his names and get out of the names of the enemy, white slave master, who does not seek to bring about peace for us. Enemy seeks to bring about our death. See, white America want her black one slave to suffer that which is not due to the black one slave. The black one slave has not sinned, nor has the black one slave attacked other nation, except under the orders of his white slave masters, who independency since 1776, you black men have been worshiping the 4th of July along with the real authors of the 4th of July, the white man, as a day of independency for themselves. It is the white slave master and his children who enjoy setting forth the 4th of July as a day of rejoicing over achieving this country independency from any other foreign source. Now the history of the 4th of July shows that it is the Independency Day, an American white man. They wrote their Declaration of Independence for themselves. The white man did not put anything in the Declaration of Independence for the benefits of the black man, who was a servitude slave of the white man at that time. The joy which the black slave experienced on these holidays of the white man was due to the black man getting rest from his labor, and a day which the white man has set aside for celebration. That is all the black slave was rejoicing over, that he did not have to work that day. But you are free now. You do not need this for an excuse for you worshiping of the 4th of July. There is no further needs for us to worship the gaining of the white man independence. Let us take a look again at our own black independence. How it came on this day of the 4th of July at the coming of God, to whom praise are due forever. On July 4th, 1930. The significance of his coming to us on the Independence Day of the white man is very great. It is their day of rejoicing. As with former people and their governments, the destruction took place when it was at the height of their rejoicing. The kings, according to the Bible history of him, we see Daniel chapter 4 was walking around in his palace and proudly looking around and admiring the skills of the work he has set up, and says, has not all this my hands have made? The Bible teaches us that while the word was in his mouth, the end came. See, Allah God changed his mind and heart from that of a civilized man to a mind and heart of a beast. He had the brain reaction of a wild beast. He was cast out amongst the dung. What does that signify? Give us a gleam into the history of the white man and his being cast out of society of the Muslims 6,000 years ago after he was made, and then started trouble amongst the people of righteousness. Trouble making caused the white man into the hill and cave size of West Asia. So we see the troublemaking that caused the white man to the exile and to the hillside. See, Europe was called at that time, so Allah God has taught me, its name was changed to Europe after the white man was cast out into that area. See, Europe means a place where people are bound in to keep them out of society of the righteous. Now, in other words, they'll have to concentrate on Europe, because Europe at some point is going to get reckoned with. So they have to concentrate on that continent, or else concentrate on their death instead of their life. See, they can no longer rule the black man here in America. So Moses made the white man as the independent race through the guidance which Allah God gave Moses to guide the white man out of a savage cage life and put them on a road of conquest of the black man. See, we see for 400 years the white man has swallowed us, the black man of America, up. He did not put us in a hole of the earth, but he swallowed us up by keeping anything like wisdom from coming to us. He said they bound against our own black people visiting us in order to prevent them from teaching us anything other than what the white man was teaching our black slave fathers. This caged us in and made just as secure a cage as the literal cage of Europe that the Arab people put the white man in 6,000 years ago. The 4th of July is the day of rejoicing of the white man over his opponents. For the rester, he wrote his constitutions for his own white people and not for his black slave. Since this is his day, which he has set aside for himself, then what part, black brothers, do you have in this day? The part is not mixed with his part in the way of his own white politics and physical independency. But as I call your attention to proud king history and what happened to him at the heights of his kingdom, Allah God never destroyed a powerful people, nor deprived them of self-independency when they was in trouble or when they was sick with grief. He made them to feel happy. He made them think that they would live forever. So it was with the coming of Allah God and the personal Master Fala Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, on his coming to us on the 4th of July, July 30th. His presidency meant the destruction of independency of the white race, and especially America, over the black man. Allah God visits the black slave, for he is more in need of help to enjoy freedom himself. Since Allah God came for the purpose of bringing self-independency to the black slave, then his going forth is with justice. The Bible, Revelation 19, verse 11. To show Allah God's greatness and power over the slave masters and his people. Now Allah God attacks them at the heights of their civilization and at the greatness of their powers and strength on the 4th of July, while they worship the greatness of the accomplishments of the black slave is sitting at his feet. As it was with the king and as it was with Pharaoh, same is being repeated today. This is Allah God coming on the 4th of July for 400 years. We have been suffering under servitude, slavery, and at the relentless hands of the white slave master over us. Allah God came to give us justice and to free us and to make us equal members in society of a new, powerful, strong, and wise people of this earth. Ever since that day, the 4th of July, 1930, had meant the doom of American domination over the black man of America and the black people of the earth. Ever since that day, America has been falling. America fall is now going on. America refused to break a fall when she could have broken a fall, as the Bible teaches us. Babylon could have been healed, but she was not. Jeremiah 51, verse 9. She did not do anything to want such forgiveness. America had been offered a chance for forgiveness, but she refused to accept it, for she never offered to do anything favorable towards her black slave that will make them free of her powers to rule them. Black slaves went to their death fighting the enemy or the white slave master to help America to maintain her independency against foreign dominancy. The black slave was not given anything in exchange for his sacrifice. When a dog hunt for a hunter, the hunter master would sometimes share a part of the game with the dog. The black slave have helped his master to overcome and put other people under the control of his white slave master. The black slave have fought and died around the earth to help the white slave master to conquer those whom the master called his enemy. We help the white man to conquer Cuba and to overcome and subdue Mexico and the Philippine Islands and other places around the earth, and also Japan. Now, how many lives did the black man lose in the Pacific while helping the white man to conquer the people of Japan, who are the brown half brothers of the black man? The brown race and the yellow race are the half brothers of the black man, who independency. Now the white man and the black man are both free on this day. The coming of Allah God on this day means the freedom of the black man too. The clear of Allah God coming on this day shows the great wisdom of Allah God. Everywhere this white man may be, even in Europe, earth belongs to the black man. Let us rejoice on this day, the 4th of July, and the coming of Allah God, to whom praise are due forever, and give thanks to him. Let us enjoy the independence he has brought to us. Freedom, justice, and equality. He brought these things to us not by killing off the red Indians, nor any original. See, justice and righteousness are used by Allah God. Independency. Independency means to be free of the dominancy of others. It's a very happy feeling for one to enjoy self-freedom. The right race and the Western Hemisphere takes this day, July 4th, 1972, to be a day to worship and remembrance of their achieving independence from other people. The right race and the Western Hemisphere have to conquer the Indians who had the independent claim on the country now called America. Then the white race and America cut off the ties of England, France, and became the independent holders of the present country called America and the Western Hemisphere. The white race was not satisfied with owning a new country to itself. They wanted to build the country up, but the white man was afraid to trust himself to build the country up. So he goes to other countries that was civilized and uncivilized. Africa. From Africa, he took our black people as slaves and used us for hard labor purpose. Now the white race have achieved those desires. And now he has the glorious things that man can enjoy. Freedom. The country of America cannot be said to be the white man's own, but with having the freedom and the power to overcome the native Indians of this country. The white race in America takes this day of July 4th to celebrate the joy of independence of others. As thou hast done, so shall be done to you. Someone's about to take away your joy about independence. See, James 5:6, you have murdered the innocent ones who is not opposing you. So we see the white race here in America have done the worst to the black people who helped this white man to build up this country of America and to make it suitable and to bring this joyful independence. But the white race in America have angered God due to the evil done to us after 400 years here under this white race. The white race still desire to mistreat and to kill us all day long. The white man hates his black slave, while the black slave should be hating the white man for mistreating the black slave. But the white man makes the black slave to love him so well that when the white man mistreat him, the black slave would not dislike the white man for mistreating him. Now the time of God has arrived. The time that Allah God must separate the black slave and his white slave master and bring freedom to the black slaves. So we see the power of our enemies being broken by God and destroying the powers of the white man's powers to maintain the slave over the whole world. Independency is fine if we can keep and maintain independency. But there is a dark cloud of trouble now springing over the country of America. The dark cloud makes her once freedom of thoughts and action become instead freedom of death, hell, and destruction. It is awful to think over the things of evil and the trouble that are coming upon glorified North America. The poor black slave number now into tens of millions of black people never knew anything of their joy of freedom because this victorious enemy, like a young lion, as Daniel gave it in the Bible, and made the black slave a prey of all of the white man's wicked desires. Now, what do we have to celebrate in the fact that the white man is enjoying freedom over us and celebrating the white man's independence? We make a fool out of ourselves. We cannot celebrate his day. Only time that we, the black people, have a day to worship and able to call a day our day of freedom is when we are free from white America and free from any other nation and become independent with some of this earth that we can call our own. Then we can say that this is a freedom day and holiday for us. Black sisters and black brothers, let us unite and get together and try and go from that what binds us to others. The white man trichology is always being trumpeted to the world that they are peace lovers, as though they want all people, as they falsely claim, to be free and to live in peace, while they are sitting on and crushing between 20 and 30 million black people in America, who was they servitude slave 100 years ago. Now, for 100 years, slave master children falsely claim that we are free and that they are trying to treat us as free people. It have come to me that in the states of Alabama and the country of Alabama, there are big plantations owned by white people in a stately White House set up on hills, and the slaves live in the surrounding stalks. The black people work hard for very small pay. It is said by some that the salary ranged from 25 cents a day to $2.50 a week. Rough clothes to work in are furnished to them. This kind of slave labor goes on through the generations. We see one generation after another is subject to this slave way of life, what is called a free world. In order to keep this black people in this type of slavery, we see the owners have mounted a guard patrolling the plantation with a gun lying across his lap and a saddle on his horse to see that there is no black interference from the outside to entice the enslaved black on the inside of his plantation to come in the bare area for better wages. These people grew up there and they died there on the plantation. Some of them never knew civilization. They are satisfied because they know no other life but the slave life that the fathers and grandfathers have been living under. We hear this kind of slavery goes on not only in the country I'm about, but in other states such as Mississippi and Georgia. A year ago, when I was a young man in Georgia, I heard that such slavery on large plantation was going on in certain areas in Georgia. And people would go to the farm areas, and a poor man probably owns another white farm, and then this white farmer pays the debit that he owns the other white farmers, and then the black man becomes the slave, the balance of his and his family life on the plantation of this white man who pays the debit to a previous white plantation owner. As long as he lives, he never pays that debt. This is the worst injustice, the most cruel slavery of all. They are shot and killed or beaten to death if they are found trying to leave a plantation. The white owners make other blacks of the same plantation under fear be their informers, but what is said and planned by the blacks. It had been told to me in my younger life that certain rivers, lakes, and wilderness like place carrying the bones and skulls of many black slaves from these plantations in so-called freedom times in the age of slavery by the laws of this government and the world. But in these southern states where Mr. George Wallace was running for president, he could make every black man and woman in the South vote for him under fear. These black people are afraid to disobey white people in high office, or even an old white farmer who is hardly able to buy himself a new overall suit. The black people in the South have been brought up for many years, for centuries, to fear white people, where there is no freedom or chance to get out among free people. These black people become the most ignorant and the most terrified people of whites that there are in the country of America. And a white man knows this. He gets rich, he builds himself a fine, luxurious home on a plantation. And as far as he can see, he claims that the land is his, and the poor slave are living in the worst stocks. And when the rain comes, some of them have to go to the walls of their house with piles to catch this rain, coming through their almost open roofs. And when winter comes, they are setting up to their fireplaces trying to keep warm. These are the worst living conditions of human beings that can even be in the jungle of Africa, where they do not have sawmills or bricks kilns to saw timbers into limbers and to mold bricks. America has everything necessary to make a slave a good warm home, cold home, and to give a slave a good living wage because of our fathers for 400 years have already supplied it, the wealth for us today to be given good substantial wages for our necessary of life. It is peaceful to go into these southern areas and out in the ritual district and see how after 400 years the wicked sunburnt, killed nose, tobacco juice mouth, blue-eyed devils are plunking our people down to such slavery condition, crushing them to death and diseasing them. The children are coming up suffering from malnutrition. Fevers and other diseases capture them and take them to their pine box grave or to the hole in the ground in the South without anything like honor or their death. They are buried in rough pine wooden boxes. The black man of America is so mistreated by his 400-year-old slave master and the slave master children that you just cannot describe any other mistreatment of human beings to equal the evil and ill treatment that the black man has and still suffer in America. In many towns and cities of the southern states, even their capitals, you'll find the black man living in very bad conditions. His toilet, sometimes an open boarded place stinking right there in the cities, diseasing the citizens. Because of the evil demon, the white man wants to give all the ill he can to the people who have served him as slaves for 400 years. It's going on in the South. Go see it for yourself. The U.S. malls come into these towns and cities. In some place, the black people are forced to walk to a drugstore and ask a white drugstore owner for their mail. Then they are treated like dogs, as though the white devil are giving him something free, while the sinners of the mail have paid the tax for the postal carriers to bring it to the other doors. Little black children are walking around with sore pus running out of them for the lack of medical attentions. The little black children are dying of diseases right in this false freedom of the USA. The black people are cowered down by this victorious enemy who keeps his gun loaded to blow them down. And every happy, one-sided, grinded mouth policeman or sheriff is seeking just the slightest chance to kill a nickel. You only have to say to his brother devil judge that he has to kill a nickel. And the judge look at him and give him a big smile and a hand clap, as though you did not kill enough. You are to kill them all. And I heard from their mouth when I lived in the South that there was too many Negroes in the South. And white people should kill all some of them. There are more Negroes than whites. And a white man should kill all some of these Negroes. What chance does this black man have under the shadow of American governments for freedom, justice, and equality? I thank Allah and the personal master Falah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who have come to deliver the black man in America and to kill our oppressors. This is very good, and we should be shouting day and night that deliverer has come. The revelations of the Bible have given this people the right name, a beast. The most vigorous description does the revelation give. In Daniel of the Bible, these people is described as a beast rising up out of the sea with 3 ribs of a man in his mouth. This is the description of America, where the black slaves struggled for 3 centuries, and the power of our enemies, the devils. The black man of the South will be a fool to vote for any white man of the South to rule him. He should stay away from the poll, because the white man for whom he vote is the enemy of his, and is bound to tighten the shackles tighter than ever. The preacher enforcing the law, and the law is unjust law directed against the black man. Vote for Allah, for his servants, Elijah Muhammad, and by the power of Allah, God, who have come in the person of Master Falah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever. All of the prophecies of the Bible, what he will do in freeing the black man of America, will be fulfilled. Let us submit to him and live in peace with money, in good homes, and with the friendship of God and the righteous. There's nothing that you have to fear today but God himself. It is useless for us to fear our enemies after the coming presidency of God, who have power over the very atoms of life. For it is fear of the white man that will cause our people to eat the fire of hell with the white man. They do not recognize the fact that it is God whom they should fear, and not the devil. The world of the white man is now crumbling and coming to nothing. The safety of the black man is in his God. As the Holy Quran teaches us, in this day and time, seek refuge in Allah, the God of the black man. He is the only place of refuge. We have made America one of the richest and strongest people on earth. Our mighty navies command the high seas, with our under seas cliff crawling on under the bottom of the ocean, carrying deadly weapons to surface and pour out on towns and cities other than America, and with listening devices set up throughout the earth, on land, sea, in the air, to listen to see what people are saying about her and planning against her, knowing she is guilty and deserving of death, and that she should be taken and destroyed. She had prepared to put up a mighty battle, but Allah God has prepared, and he is the best preparer, knowing their thoughts before they was ever made. They have not the slightest chance today against the power of Allah that is working against them, even through the force of nature. The white race have been disgracing the entire black nation of the earth. Africa is suffering under the same wicked powers of the white race and having an awful time trying to rid herself of such a demon. She will do so, and soon. Here in America, Almighty Allah God wants to make himself known with both the punishment and destruction of this mighty, powerful, rich people. Fear not, my dear black people, for we have Allah God with us. He is a mighty and a strong and the most powerful one to be feared. Come follow me, and I'll lead you to your starvation. According to an article we see in November 25th, 1969, issue of the Wall Street Journal, written by Mr. Neil Maxwell, the staff report, according to reports of our own farmers, the Muslim property and lives are being attacked by a devil. Mr. James H. Bishop called himself a missionary. He has started attacking us for a fight. The Muslims have lost a couple of heads of cattle by gunshots penetrated by some coward, according to report from Mr. Neil Maxwell. This demon, Mr. James H. Bishop, seeks to bring himself and American people into a war with Allah God and the righteous, which will be the end of America and our people. We the Muslims are a people of peace and are proving ourselves to be just that all over America. And of course, this demon, Mr. James H. Bishop, is proving himself to be just what he is made to be, a mischief maker. As Allah God comes in the person of Master Fard Muhammad, whom praise are due forever, have taught me that he is. I will warn this troublemaker that he's playing with fire and a very hot fire, but he's not attacking Elijah Muhammad and his followers, but he is attacking Allah God, who welcomes the attack, for this is what he came for. As sure as Allah God live, we will convert every black people in America to his or her own, and this includes those in Alabama. Look at the Muslim condition in Alabama. We went there to buy a piece of land from a citizen of Alabama. And then some white enemy appears who calls himself a preacher of the gospel of Jesus. But he did not forget to preach the gospel of the devil along with it. This devil, Mr. Bishop, we hired him when we first went to the farm in Alabama. He worked for us on the farm, digging holes to help us to get set up on the farm. At that time, he said nothing to us in a way of charging us with being there illegally. Why did he hire out to us? Why did he help us to get started on our farms? We hire him and pay him for his work, and there is no talk from him in the manner in which he is talking now. So this man has now turned to be a real open enemy and not a secret enemy. He even goes so far now to even talk killing us and is asking us for a fight. We are losing cattle from bullet wounds, and he is speaking in direction of even destroying our properties and cattle. He even makes it hard for us to buy gasoline, and the most ignorant and worst thing is that the gas attendants sell us the gasoline, and then we are arrested and charged with a crime for buying the gasoline instead of charging the man who sold it to us. It's very ignorant and silly. We have brought lands and cattle in Alabama. It means to get the profit out of what we buy. And if the government of Alabama intends to drive us out from our properties, they will have to buy us out, not to drive us out. If the government of Alabama is in agreement with the white people of Alabama and what they are doing against the Muslims, then I want to say to the whole white America that we have Allah God on our side to retaliate against anyone who mistreats us. We did not go down there with rifles and guns to shoot anyone. We are Muslims and our brother Muslims. If we are not accepted by our brother Muslims, we most certainly have been accepted by the God of Islam, Allah, whose proper name is Masterfullah Muhammad, to whom praise are due forever, who came to us without observations, as it is written of him. However, we have made his work manifest. The nation of Islam idea, again, is to build better countries, homes for the black people. I said to the whole American white people that you can never win against anyone outside or inside of America as long as you seek to mistreat us. As it is written in the Bible, he who contains with us Allah God, contain with him, and give them their blood to drink, like sweet wine. So remember, we are the people of Allah God. We make no trouble with anyone, but Allah God will retaliate against anyone who makes trouble for us, who seeks to do us harm. The decline of the dollar, the stronghold of American governments, is falling to pieces. She had lost amongst the nations of the earth. One of the greatest power of America was the dollar. The loss of such power will bring any nation to weakness. For this is the meter of exchange between nations. The English pound and the American dollar have been the power of the beckoning light. These two great powers. When the world went on, gold and silver standards, the financial doom of England and America was sealed in. Pound had lost 50% of its value. American dollar had lost everything now as power backing for a currency which was once backed by gold. From every $5 note and up, and all of the currency was backed by silver from a dollar note up. But today, the currency of America is not backed by any sound value silver or gold. The notes today is something that the government declared that will give you the value in return, but does not name what that value is. But they definitely are not backing their currency with silver or gold. This is the number one fall. And it is very clear that the loss of the power of American dollar means the loss of the financial power of America. What will happen since there is no sound backing from our notes? We do not know. What should we expect even in the next 12 months under the fall of the power of American dollar? This means that we have 100% inflation. What could happen under 100% inflation? Your guess is as good as mine. The power of gold and silver was once bounded in America. The touch of the finger of God against the power of so mighty a nation has now caused the crumbling and fall of America. We can easily and truthfully liken the fall of America to the prophet picture given in the Bible. Revelation of John 18, verse 2. The name Babylon used there does not really says whether it is ancient Babylon or a picture of some future Babylon. The description it gives as follows. And he, the angel, cried mightily with a strong voice, with authority, saying, Babylon the Great is fallen, it becomes the habitation of devils. Allah, God had declared the people to be a race of devils, and a hole for every foul spirit, and a cage of every unclean and hateful bird. The description here gives to the Babylon by the prophet compared with the present history and people of America and their fall. The picture shows the cause of her fall. Number one, she had become the habitation of devils. And being the habitation of devils, make her a haven for every people that love the work and doing of the devil. Here, the prophet refers to them as being a hold every foul spirit and a cage every unclean and hateful bird. People referred to as birds, snakes, beasts, fish, and other animals to tell or represent the characteristics of that person. It is universally known that the very beginning of American people was from the lower class of European people. And their first ruler, President Washington, was a fugitive from England. And the common dissatisfied and lower grades of European people followed and boasted his authority. This filled and inhabited America with a very low class and low base people. Then this type of people went into Africa and purchased slaves from amongst our people who was also uneducated. Most of them, but there was a few who was highly educated. And all of these began to mix with low, base, evil mind, real citizens of the Western Hemisphere, whites. And when America begins to get strong in power, he opens the doors to unprivileged laborers in overpopulated countries such as China, Japan, and Europe to seek citizenship in America. This brought into America one of the most mixed people who was granted the freedom to live any kind of life they choose. They was not forced to serve the God of the universe who made heaven and earth, nor any religion. This had made America to have a freedom of worship. This made America a haven for any people who wish to be free of the competitors of religious and just rule and authorities. These people, for the past 500 years, have put into practice every evil that is imaginable. The freedom of uncleanness is granted and is worship. The percentage of sexual worship of the same sex is greater than any government on the face of the earth. Little children are being taught sex almost from the cradle, making the whole nation, that one man put it. Nearly 90% freaks of nature. It is common to see on the streets of any metropolitan city of America. Man sweethearted with man, woman sweethearted with woman, little boys with boys, and little girls with girls. It is common that a decent family is puzzled as to where to send their children for school. There are no all girls schools as they once were. There are all girls schools of sweethearts. We see the same sex falling upon their own. Boys, college are breathing such filthy practice. We see this jail, house, prison, and federal penitentiaries are all breathing dozens of homosexuals. And as the prophet says in the 18th chapter, see, it's a cage to every unclean and hateful bird.